Hi, welcome to InforumLive. I'm Paul Stalen, one of the co-founders of Burst. I'm very pleased to have with me today Will Miller of Miller Industries. And we're going to have a conversation and learn more about his company's use of Burst Analytics in their business.
As you stated, I'm Will Miller, President and co-CEO of Miller Industries. We are the world's largest manufacturer of towing and recovery equipment. We operate 3 manufacturing facilities in the United States and 2 in Europe, servicing both commercial and military customers around the globe.
What's your business's relationship with Infor kind of as a whole, the whole kind of relationship? I know you guys are a good and close customer.
As a whole, we've been an Infor customer for over 20 years. We started with Bond and then into the LN program. We're currently running LN 10.5 and working on going live on the Cloud Suite automotive software system first quarter of next year. We also implemented Burst Analytics about a year ago, which was a phenomenal implementation. And then moving on to HCM and some of the other Cloud Suite software systems in 2020
What were kind of the business drivers for you to start moving into kind of the analytics phase of your relationship with Infor?
You know, I really wanted to find a software system for me that allowed us to analyze all of our information, more importantly, mobilely. I travel a lot and wanted to be able to see the information live on a mobile device as I traveled. It really has allowed our manufacturing team and our sales staff, accounting, accounts receivables to all sort of be aligned on the same goal, which is always important.
That's fantastic. And in terms of the kind of the use cases, how'd you start? What use cases are you using right now?
You know, we started with 4 dashboards to begin with, really focused on sales revenue, accounts receivable, a customer dashboard to really be able to see specific information about each one of our customers. We took those dashboards and then moved on looking at inventory and more production-related dashboards.
But I know other folks out there who are contemplating going through this transition, hearing kind of how long it took, how you managed the change, I think would be incredibly insightful.
I believe from the beginning of the decision to implement to the first dashboards that I received was about 4 months. Once that was done, we rolled it out by team members, so any individuals in the executive staff that wanted team members to have Burst. Then we took it one step further this year, purchased additional licenses because I realized that it was probably important information for our distribution network to have. So now we're in the process of rolling it out to some 65 to 100 distributors worldwide.
Any kind of measurable impact of that efforts, or obviously you just rolled out to the distribution channel. That's probably a little too new to say it's had this kind of impact, but
since January of 2019, we've reduced our total or our overdue AR balance by 40%.
That's great.
Which is phenomenal.
Are there other areas that you've been able to kind of point this insight at that have produced similarly actionable?
Yeah,
insights?
I think on the supply chain side, seeing the ability to see which vendors are late, which certainly allows our purchasing and sourcing team to focus on those past due suppliers to see if and when they will affect manufacturing. And from the marketing side, being able to pull in, we pulled in a decade's worth of data. So really being able to quickly look at sales by product type in a graphical representation. It's easy from a gut check standpoint to say, yeah, this is how much, that's our best seller. Yeah. But when you can put it up on a graph and look at similar products and see which one has been selling more and where those sales were over the last 10 years, it certainly helps the marketing team as well focus their efforts on specific products.
And is there anything where you kind of look and say, that's the coolest thing we learned as a business so far?
I think just reassurance of the information that you thought was correct. Probably one of the greatest things about Burst, being able to get revenue numbers quickly.
In terms of kind of moving in the analytical direction, in terms of picking Burst as your partner for this journey, was there anything that stood out to you that said, this is why we want to go with these folks as opposed to those folks?
Certainly our CIO, Siash Ranecki, definitely did some research on competitive offerings
Yep.
But being that Burst is part of Infor, and being a longtime customer, we really wanted to consolidate our systems instead of having additional resources outside the system.